I've started losing weight again. I've learned that this has been a very interesting kind of series for people to follow. You don't have to watch my other videos to understand this one, but basically there's been a lot of feedback, and 95% of people seem to find it interesting because the concept of losing weight and seeing that as a negative, and also the concept of struggling to eat and put calories in your body is so foreign. People are just like intrigued because it's so out of the ordinary to them. And then the other 5% of people interested are like more like me, where they're like, oh wait, most people don't really have this experience. Someone is actually making a couple videos on it. So I shall continue the videos. I am losing weight, and it's not a good thing. I actually want to be doing the opposite. I've been trying to gain weight for the majority of my life. The first time weight became a kind of concept to me was around 10 years old, and that's when it was like when doctors are recommending to be healthy, you got to put weight on, little fella, very little fella, way too little of a fella, by the way. You should be a bigger fella. You should be eating more. And so that was 14 years ago. So 14 years of on and off, putting effort in and then giving up, and then putting effort in and giving up, just back and forth. Past month or so, I'm in that give up phase. What's new? Nothing, actually. However, it has changed because for a while my goal was simply to be less skinny. Now my goal is to specifically be more strong and ideally put muscle on. And an important part of this process is putting weight on. And in order to put muscle on, you have to put calories in your body, because my understanding is, well, building muscle comes down to 3 things. That is exercise, sleep, and diet. I've got the 2 down. I'm incredible at sleep. Some may even say I'm a little too good at sleeping. I slept like 14 hours last night. Whoops, I don't usually do that. I normally sleep for 8. It was a little oopsie. And then there's exercise. So not only is my lifestyle naturally comprised of a lot of exercise, so like I build a lot of stuff, I work on a lot of projects, I do a lot of landscaping, I like to rock climb, I like to bike, I like to walk and hike. Everything I do is very physical, some of which is like uses my muscles, but a lot's just cardio. And then when I'm not doing one of those things, what do I like to do with my extra time? That's either calisthenics or weightlifting. It's just, I'm always physical. So I've got the exercise, I've got the sleep, I just got to do this 3rd pillar, which is just eat. And to most people, it's like, this is very simple. Just eat more. And I don't really know how. If I could figure that out, I would have done it by now if I knew how to do it. So it's been very fun to have this back and forth with comments and taking feedback and then making a video on it. And that's what literally this is me taking feedback from comments and then reacting to it through my actions and by making videos about it. And so, of course, it just comes down to this concept of just eat more. Like, think about how much progress you could have made if you were just eating more. You've got the exercise down, even though I do slack sometimes. But honestly, why am I slacking on exercise, especially recently? It's because I'm feeling demotivated because I'm not eating. Because I know it's not even in the back of my head, it's not even deep down, it's in the forefront of my mind. Every rep I'm doing of whatever exercise, whatever this is why am I even doing this? I'm not eating. I don't have any energy, I don't have any food in me. My energy's been incredibly low because, what do you know? It turns out food is fuel. And when you don't give something fuel, it don't worky, and I can't worky out too good when there's no fuel inside of me. No matter how much I sleep, no matter how many energy drinks I were to drink, no matter how badly I want to, I just physically can't get my muscles to work if there's nothing fueling them. And so then I tell myself, and I kind of get in my head, I just got to eat more. I go to eat more and I don't do it. I've been trying to come up with different analogies of my experience trying to eat more. So just because something's simple for me doesn't make it easy per se. So kind of gross analogy, but I feel like it just makes it kind of clear. It's like, imagine someone they pull down their pants in front of you and they shit on a plate, and they are like, all right, all your dreams are on the other side of just eating this plate of my excrement. And you're like, okay, that's pretty simple. I just got to eat shit. That's it. Like, yep, that's all you got to do. And it's like, it's there and you have to look at it and you have to smell it and you have to stick your fork in it, and then you have to bring it towards your mouth, and then you have to get it in your mouth. If you somehow get to that step of getting human excrement in your mouth, you then have to chew it And at this point, it's like extremely impressive if you can get to the point of, you know, chewing. And then you get to the most important, but also most difficult step in this process, and that is getting the excrement that's in your mouth into your stomach. And you do that by swallowing. It's got to go through your esophagus, down your throat, all the way down to your stomach. And so you're trying to force it, you're trying to swallow, but as you're trying to swallow this human shit, your body is trying to stop you from swallowing it. It's trying to reject it from coming down, and that mostly comes down to your gag reflex. You're gonna start gagging and heaving, possibly, and most likely it's just not gonna go down. So that is an exaggerated version of just eating regular food, basically, because the reason it's exaggerated is if you put human poop and then food, I would rather eat the food, believe it or not. Also, the analogy doesn't work exactly because I'm not actually grossed out by all food, and I'm not always grossed out all the time. So, for example, I can eat enough to maintain my weight. When it comes to my weight, my highest ever, it was in a video, so you can just fact check me. I think it was 119 point something pounds. And I did this through the form of pushing myself incredibly hard for a week, and this was my soy shake video. I saw myself get the heaviest I had ever been on video, and so that's cool. I'm glad it's documented. Now, the thing that I realized is actually the shakes weren't completely filling me up. So even though I was getting my calories from the shakes, I could then just eat food on top. So anything that came to mind, anything I was craving, I would eat it. Domino's, pizzas, Chipotle bowls, and the important term here is crave. I actually was craving foods occasionally, especially during this week. And so through a mixture of these cravings, as well as probably just water weight and also gorging myself, I just had all this extra weight. So how much of this weight actually translated into fat, into my body, and muscle growth? The full 5 pounds probably wasn't true weight gain. It was a lot of just water and stuff. Regardless though, stepping onto the scale in the morning, I'm all empty, I have not eaten. I was still reading 119s, which that had just never happened before, so that was very cool. As of today, I am back to where I started before doing that, which is 114 or 115. It's very weird because it's like I've been spending years on this, and I'm just within this teeny tiny little spectrum. Like, I'm not exceeding the 120s, but I'm not dropping below the 110s. It's just all of this effort and energy is not even pushing me within a 10% change, which is super interesting because that then leads me to hyperfixate on the ounces, which just isn't very useful because you're going to fluctuate naturally with ounces. But me gaining or losing 1 ounce, that's kind of a big percent because in my mind, this 10-pound spectrum is all that there is. It's not even like I'm weighing 115 pounds. It's like I'm just weighing 15 pounds. Because ultimately, I don't think I'm ever going to drop below 100 pounds again, hopefully. I said that before, and I did drop below 100 pounds. I don't think it'll happen again. Basically, as I was growing, so I'm 24 for reference, and naturally, as a baby, you're normally smaller than you are at 24. And so from a baby up to my teens, I have grown year over year. Now I did pretty much stop growing for a bit when I was around 9 or 10. And then I got up to like 105 as my highest ever. However, one of my years, a few years ago, just was bad. And as a result, I took less care of myself. And so when some people take less care of themselves, they gorge out. And they just calorie max, they eat whatever they want. I did the same. I ate whatever I want, and that was in the form of not eating. So I ate a lot less, and then I dropped below 100 pounds. I lost, 5 or 6 pounds maybe. So when I would step on the scale, it was reading double-digit numbers. So 97, 98, 99, 96, generally about 98 pounds. Once I got out of that slump though, that's when I started to eat again, and my weight went back up to like 105, whatever. And then when I really started putting more effort again into gaining, that's when I got up to the 115. I put in even more effort, 119. Now we're back to 115. So my natural, it's like what my body wants to stay at is just 115. Like, it feels like no matter what I do, I just sit at that big old 115. I don't think this is true. I think I can probably push through it. I do feel very demotivated right now. If I wasn't making videos on the process, I think I would have just slipped this whole goal under the rug and pretended like I never wanted it, because I am totally sick of trying at this point, because, well, I started weighing myself almost daily 13 months ago. It's been over a year. What did the scale say 13 months ago? 115. I am stronger than a year ago. I have a low body fat percentage. I don't know what it is. It's like 7% if I did the math right. And I do look more muscular, than I did a year ago. So at my biggest pump, I don't really get a pump, I'm not that strong or big, but at my absolute strongest I could make myself look, I looked weaker than I do today when I just wake up first thing in the morning, which is unusual because I weigh the same. But my point is I am stronger, I'm physically much more capable. These are both very good, I'm very happy about these things, but the number on the scale stays the same. I have a whole video on why I'm obsessed with gaining weight. Even after that video, everything I post, people leave they're very kind comments, which I appreciate. They're like, you know, you don't have to gain weight. You look fine as you are, you're healthy as you are, which is, I was gonna say those are both true. Yeah, sure, I look incredible. I'm a beautiful hunk of man, I'll take it. And also I am healthy. That's why it's hard to get doctors to help me right now, because doctors were more willing to help when I was considered severely underweight. Like basically when it was doctors coming to me saying, hey, you're not looking great, you need to work on your nutrition and stuff. That's not the case anymore. This is a very good thing. I know this is kind of a doomer video so far, but overall, luckily it's still positive, and this is kind of a positive thing. But now, when I go to a doctor and I'm like, hey, can you help me? And they're like, why? You're healthy. You don't need to gain weight. It's just because I want to. And so not every doctor wants to help someone purely aesthetically, which I can appreciate that. I'm glad that they prioritize health. I'm actually very glad they do that. But selfishly, I care about more than just my health right now, and that is also the aesthetic goal side of it. So, oh yeah, so the comments are very kind. They're like, you don't have to gain weight. I know, I can achieve everything I want. Okay, like if you put on a list everything I wish to achieve until the day that I die, I can achieve all of them without gaining any weight. Like, weight gain is a completely separate goal. It's not attached to anything else. I can be as active as I want, and I can do all the hobbies I want. Some hobbies I technically would be better off being lighter at. For example, bouldering and rock climbing. It's better to be lighter for those. A lot of people actually have the opposite version of eating disorder with rock climbing because they so desperately want to weigh as little as possible so that they can scale a wall more easily. And then there's also some confusion over what I mean by weight gain. So I don't want to just get fatter. I don't want to be fat. I want to just build muscle specifically. I'm not really looking to increase my body fat percentage. Like, it wouldn't hurt if I did, I guess, but it isn't necessary. So let's say I'm at 7% body fat. I don't know if that's the actual percentage, but I'm more than happy to stay at that the whole time. I do, however, want to build. And so people have been saying, well, eat more protein. That's what muscle is made of. More protein equal more muscle. But I do believe I'm consuming enough protein. Okay, not right now, but I think I was. Basically, I was doing well, and then I didn't see results, so I got demotivated again, which is why I'm like not even really trying right now. However, I think the issue is, and to be clear, none of this is advice, none of this is educational. This is just me trying to understand things and explain my thoughts and stuff, so don't replicate necessarily anything I'm saying, but there's protein and then there's fats. Basically, like, you can put fat on your body, you can put muscle on your body. I just want to put muscle, I don't want to put fat, so people are like, why are you trying to put fat on if you only want muscle? I think what's happening is I'm not giving my body enough fuel to burn, to function, so it's just going to eat my muscle instead. It doesn't just magically create energy, it has to create it from something, I guess. And if I'm not giving it fat to do it, it's going to do it from other parts of my body, and the next step of that would be my muscle. I'm talking in such a small amount of fluctuation that I probably don't really look that different. Maybe I do, but I will say I did this whole video about like confidence and how my confidence has gone up through exercising and all this stuff, and also my self-image. For example, the classic ones being looking in a mirror or just looking at yourself in general. I noticed it when I was editing, and something I used to do as a teenager is when I'm editing shots of myself with short sleeves, if it's a talking head, I cut the frame in to my sleeve so it doesn't show my arm. It would just be like nipples, head, and so each frame I would zoom in and cut out my arm, and out of habit, I didn't even notice at first, but I was editing a video and I zoomed it in so it cuts my arm out, and I'm like, oh gosh, flipping darn it, here we go again. I keep scratching my back because I think something on this tree I'm allergic to, I don't know. There's also ants. So that's actually when I realized, all right, I'm not exercising enough. I need to go exercise more so I don't see myself in negative ways. So just, yeah, an interesting little realization I've noticed over the past week or so. And that's because I've been slacking on everything. Haven't been exercising, haven't been trying to eat. I've been oversleeping. I'm just in a rut, but only physically. These aren't like symptoms of other stuff in my life. So the healthy habits that I've fallen off of, oftentimes with a lot of people, I think you fall off of these habits because of something else happening. So say like, I don't know, someone dies, or you fail an exam. I'm trying to think of normal human things that happen. I don't know. And then you put other things on the back burner. God, I got bit by a mosquito. The thing with me is the fact that mine is more of a vicious cycle right now, because my goal is to gain weight and get stronger, but then I don't eat, and then I have trouble exercising, and then I feel sad about it, and so then I don't eat more because I'm sad, and then I won't exercise more because I have less energy. However, again, I'm saying this again because it's truly important to note that this is not severe fluctuation. It's not like I just dropped 20 pounds and I'm Eugene Acuni. I just lost a teeny tiny bit of weight, just a littlest amount. However, because that's kind of all I can do is gain these really small amounts, it just has totally thrown me off my game. Yeah, basically, I actually think I do eat enough protein. That was a very long tangent, but protein-wise, when I'm trying, I can consume 160 grams of protein comfortably. I weigh 115 pounds, so I believe 160 grams of protein is more than necessary to build. What's missing is the carbs and fats. I guess mostly carbs, though. I don't know. Everything that's not protein. All the other nutrition facts on a label of stuff, I need more of the rest of them. Maybe not sodium. I get a lot of sodium. I've also not been tracking my calories. I just got sick of doing it and stopped. I honestly think I can estimate pretty well how many calories I've eaten. Like, at the end of the day, a few times I did not add them up, and I was like, I think I probably ate 1,200 calories, or I think I ate 1,900, or I think I ate 700. And then I throw it in the calculator, and I'm pretty accurate, within like 500 calories. I should continue tracking my calories, but even when I don't, I can tell if I hit my goal or if I didn't. And every day for the past month and a half, 2 months, I have not hit that goal. The goal in my head is 3,400 calories, but over the past week, past 2 weeks, there's a few days where I ate maybe 500. Like, I don't like the concept of cheat days. So in the context of losing weight, a cheat day would be, okay, I'm staying below 2,000 calories a day, except for today. Today's a cheat day. I'm gonna eat a cheat meal. I'm gonna eat 3,500 calories because I deserve it. I should treat myself. I hate the concept of treat yourself because people only use it in the context of not treating yourself. They only use it in the context of harming themselves. You're not treating yourself by going the opposite direction of your goals. I'm not saying you shouldn't have a day where you eat 3,500 calories. I would be a hypocrite in saying that because I have days where I don't eat anything. Okay, when I used to not eat anything, I'd be like, oh, that felt good. There was no anxiety, there was no stress. I just got to enjoy my day, do what I want, ignore my growling stomach, and just not eat. That's bad. You shouldn't not eat certain days. However, I don't even enjoy it anymore. So my dilemma now, which I'm actually glad I have this dilemma because I think it'll work to my favor. My current dilemma is, on days that I eat the amount that I should, I feel great about myself. I feel like I climbed a mountain or whatever. However, I hated the process. I was disgusted eating. I feel sick. I feel bloated. I have a lot of trouble doing other things because so much of my time was taken up by eating, and also I didn't like the process. However, now on days where I don't reach my goal, I feel bad at the end of the day because I failed, I guess. And so I think this is actually a good thing. So let's take the feeling of a hungry stomach. So somebody with a dangerous eating disorder, I'm going to use an example of something I do not have, and that is someone that wants to become unhealthily skinny and feels accomplished when they do not eat. My understanding is they feel that feeling of hunger and they feel accomplished because they're like, look at me, I'm starving myself, this is good. Even if they realize after the fact that it's not good, they almost get enjoyment from that feeling of hunger. I do not enjoy the feeling of hunger, but I also don't mind it at all. I hate the feeling of fullness, I hate the feeling of things in my stomach, and so in the past, if I felt the feeling of hunger, I could just ignore it. I could ignore the feeling for hours, if not longer, which I wonder if I just don't get the same, because people seem to really hate being hungry, so I think I just I don't know, I feel like I don't get the full sensation other people do. So my stomach will growl, and I take growling to mean, oh, my tummy empty, my tummy want food in it. I don't want to put food in it, but I know I have to. Like, to me, growling is more of an audible sensation. But when people talk about hunger, they act like it's an actual feeling. So I know the feeling of fullness. I do not like the feeling of fullness. So I'll just assume your feeling of hunger is like my feeling of fullness, where it sucks, it's a horrible feeling, and I want to get rid of that feeling. Now, when I get that feeling of hunger, which is actually just hearing my stomach growling, I actually hate the sound because I feel like I'm failing myself, because I have this specific goal and I'm not achieving it. When my stomach starts to growl, all I can imagine is just like the little bit of muscle I have built just withering away. It just disintegrating. It's like with every growl, my little bicep becomes even more little. And so ideally this would play to my favor and encourage me to just eat. What I've noticed the past couple months, or month-ish, is if I went too long without eating to where my stomach growls, that spikes my anxiety and it spikes my stress, and I can't eat when I am anxious or stressed. Like, I'm learning to work through it. Basically now I get that growl and it's just like, oh, I go into like a fight or flight because I'm like, it's so over. I have failed. There's no getting out of this. Once the hunger feeling starts, it's like, there goes all of my body. I'm just gonna shrivel up. So long story short, I have been getting into my head more recently. This tree is so itchy. It's like, actually, I thought trees were supposed to feel good on your back. Like, oh wait, that's kind of good actually. Oh, oh my. And this probably just comes down to me focusing on it too much. Like, it's become too much of a primary goal of mine. So like, I have these long-term goals and then I have these short-term goals. And so one of my short-term goals is gain weight, gain 15 pounds. I'll just throw a number. That's the number I've kind of put in my head, 15 pounds. I like that number because I was 100 pounds, which is an even number, and now I'm 115 pounds. So it's like, okay, I got from 100 to 115. Surely I can get from 115 to 130. I just want to see what that's like. And it's just this simple short-term goal, but each day I've just become a little bit more obsessed over this goal. So there's other short-term goals I have, like get my lawn in order. It's a bit overgrown right now, but it's not every hour of the day that I'm like, oh, my grass is overgrown, I need to go deal with that. I don't have to. My yard is healthy as it is. I don't have an HOA. I don't have to touch my yard. It's just a personal goal I have. I want to get it looking nice again. And on days that I don't work on it, doesn't matter. I just come back to it another day. Even then, when I don't come and work on my yard, it grows a little bit every day. And every day it grows, it's a little bit harder to cut it back down. I have an electric lawnmower. People make fun of me for having an electric lawnmower. But my electric lawnmower is not great at cutting super tall grass. So I feel like that's kind of a good analogy I just came up with on the spot, I guess. Is that's an example of a short-term goal that doesn't stress me out. I don't go to bed having trouble sleeping because, oh no, my yard is growing longer as I sleep. However, one of the short-term goals that I have gotten in my head about is I'm going to sleep and I'm like, oh no, I haven't put enough food in my stomach. And I'm gonna, like, as I go to sleep, I'm gonna lose weight in my sleep. That's like what I'm telling myself is, as I sleep, out of my control, I'm going to be slipping farther away from that goal that I have. So I would like to say that I could just lower the importance of this goal, but now that I'm like so set on just trying to make it work, it's more on the forefront of my mind than I wish it was. And then, unfortunately, that's been impacting my sleep, which sucks because now I go to sleep every night for the past few weeks, or every morning. I've been on a night schedule, knowing that I didn't hit my goal, and it's been impacting my, like, I have the privilege of falling asleep really fast. Like, if I lie down, I'm asleep within 30 seconds. It's incredible. I love it. I don't take it for granted. I try not to, at least. However, recently, I have not been falling asleep immediately because I'm getting in my own head. I just go through this cycle of thoughts, and then I think my sleep quality has been lower in general. It's all just spawned from this one little goal, and I am covered in bugs. And then I wake up and I'm like, man, I didn't sleep as good as last night. Now that's two of the pillars not working in my favor for this goal. I'm still exercising the best I can, but now I'm not sleeping well and I'm not eating well. And then I get up to do my session, and I can't do as many sets as I did last time because I'm tired and hungry. And so I'm like, well, frick, now what? Now all three pillars aren't working. And so that's why I keep every day going, I think it's time to give up. I haven't decided if I'm gonna give up yet. Now, the redeeming factor of all this is not a negative video. It's just, the reason I'm making it is people have really enjoyed me just sitting down and yapping, and I'm a hell of a good yapper, so I might as well keep on yapping if you want me to. The good thing is, okay, I'm not going to give up. However, let's say hypothetically, I give up. Nothing really happens. I would just start to forget about the goal, and I would eat enough food to maintain, because maintaining weight was very difficult for a long time. But nowadays, I have pushed myself hard enough and I've practiced enough that I can just maintain my weight. I've maintained 115 pounds after all. It used to be a struggle where it was me putting the amount of effort in today to gain. It took this much effort to maintain and to not lose and become like dangerously underweight, so that's good. And then I just live on with my life and achieve all my other goals. Trust me, bros, this is the only goal I'm not achieving. I'm gonna kill every single other goal I have in life. And being aware that it doesn't truly matter and it's not too deep and it doesn't matter too much. I'll be healthy, I can still be happy, I can still do everything I want. That's what I remind myself when I'm starting to overthink it. So I'm like, oh God, I'm in my head, I'm stressed out because I didn't eat. I remind myself it doesn't really matter. Yes, I want to achieve this, maybe I still can, but if I don't, it's not the end of the world because I can just do other stuff. Now, some people think this is cringe. I think I kind of got it as like a translation of something my mom would do. So my mom's thing was, she's always about grounding yourself. If you were too anxious or stressed out, you ground yourself in a certain way. Pretty classic, I think, meditation technique. My form of grounding myself is through very simple, like gratitude-based mantras, I guess. Like just becoming grateful for very small things that I take for granted normally. As part of my daily routine, I might do maybe I'll do a whole video on it. I think it's kind of fun. It's helped me a lot, but that's the other thing I do. So it's just understanding that I shouldn't stop the goal just because it's not working, but I do have to put it in perspective to the point that it feels weird filming an entire video dedicated to struggling with this one goal when it's just one very small aspect of my life of many things that I like to do. It feels like an overkill of a video, I guess, but I don't think it is. And if it is, then it is, I guess you can tell me. The other nice thing is knowing that I can come back to it. So because my health and my finances, for example, are not reliant on it, like, God, imagine if I was actually a fitness influencer. Like, imagine if my YouTube channel was just fitness and just like being strong or whatever. That would be very stressful. I don't have to keep any of this up. I can just stop and come back to it. I can not film a fitness video ever again and my income isn't really impacted. I love doing the series, and maybe it'll become an even bigger part of the channel. Or actually, I could just become like reverse Amberlyn Reed. Amberlyn Reed has been on a weight loss journey for like 15 years on YouTube, and she's heavier now than she is when she started. So I could be on a weight gain. I could be a weight gain channel, and for the next 15 years I just lose weight and people just watch my sad, pitiful downfall. If for some reason you're watching Amberlyn, I don't mean this personally, I love your videos. I'm sorry, and you bring me much entertainment and joy. So anyway, not to expose my Amberlyn super fandom or anything, but oh yeah, my point in mentioning that is I could just come back to it. And so that's kind of what I've done. Is for the past month I stopped trying. Pretty much. That's pretty much it. For the last month I just haven't tried. Today is the first day that I am once again trying again. I kind of gave myself a break. I lost some weight. All right, gamers, let's do this again, shall we? Can we? I don't know. I'm willing to keep trying experiments. I have a doctor's appointment in 2 days. It's not for weight gain, it's just a regular physical. I figured I would I want to catch up on all my physical health stuff, so I'm doing a dentist appointment, a doctor's appointment, a little maintenance checkup. I know I need at least one filling, so like I'll do all that. And then in that process, I might ask about weight as well. But anyway, I feel like it's a good time to recontinue that. But anyway, I will ask, I guess, like, hey, weight on me, can you help maybe? I don't think you can help. I think it's all mental. I think it's all in the head. I think I'm just quirked up. I don't think it's any physical ailment. I have gotten a lot of tests done. So, and then the other thing is half my life I've been trying these little experiments to gain weight. I shared a lot of them in one of the recent videos. Everything from therapies to different foods to different mind tricks. I've done some experiments that I'm too embarrassed to say on YouTube, but if you join the Discord server and pay me $2, I will tell you if you ask me, I guess. So Discord shout out. I talk more about things in depth and more personally on Discord than I do on YouTube, partially to follow terms of service. Anyway, Discord server is pretty cool if you want to join. But yeah, one example of an experiment was the soy shakes. So another thing I'm doing right now, starting today, this morning, I was like, what if I replace all of the fluids I drink just with whole milk? This is a very common, okay, it's not common to replace all your fluids with it, but there is a thing called gallon of milk every day where that's it. You just drink a gallon of milk every day. I don't think I can drink a gallon of milk every day. Maybe I'm underestimating myself. I don't think I can. Either way, I was like, okay, I drink a lot of water, which is good. I drink a lot of soda, which is bad. I drink a lot of juices and Powerades. What if everything I drink is replaced? Every time I'm thirsty, I just drink milk. I did it for like 10 hours and I felt really gross and I was really thirsty and I was like, this sucks. So I started drinking milk and other things like Powerade and water. Have not had any soda today, but then again, maybe I should drink soda because it has calories. I don't know. And it also tastes yummy and makes me happy to drink soda. So yeah, I don't know. I might do like some sort of milk challenge. I just, at the end of the day, I feel like I've done so many of these little experiments and trying to do all these little tips like cheats and hacks to get more calories in me. I feel like that's just not, like, maybe I'll change my mind again, but right now, I feel like that's not the solution. Little things like I don't pat my bacon down when I eat bacon. I just leave the grease on for that extra little bit of calories. Something crazy. Oh, I didn't share this one before. Okay, something crazy is I was like, what if I don't cut, what if I, what if I don't shave any part of my body so that way my body stops burning calories to grow hair? I thought this was like actually a good idea. It turns out that's not how hair works. It turns out hair, because I was like, okay, body hair. It turns out body hair continues to grow even if you don't shave it. It's just the old follicles fall out and get replaced. I didn't know that, but yeah, this is like over a year ago, maybe a year ago. I was like, maybe I could, and then I was Googling, like, I actually asked on some forums, like, so how many calories does growing hair burn? And people thought it was insane. They're like, I don't know, 1 calorie. That's kind of an extreme, silly example, but I seriously thought that was a good idea. And then just other things, like, oh, minimizing my steps in a day. When I was doing Amazon shifts, I was like trying to take the fewest steps possible. But not only does that possibly burn more energy if I'm like taking a bigger step, but also that's just stupid. It's just not worth it. So, and then there's more reasonable ones like adding fats to my foods or eating, I don't know, like the soy shakes I was drinking, there was a high calorie and then a very high calorie. The very high was just like had added oils and stuff. I think those are more reasonable, but at the end of the day, it's just not resolving my baseline issue of getting food from here to here to here, because that's all I gotta do is just, if I can unlock how to consume unlimited food, I'm good. I truly think I know what to eat. Like, people want me to get a nutritionist or a trainer. I don't think they'd be able to help. I think they could give me great advice on what to do, but I don't think I'm gonna do it because I don't really know how to eat. So if I can figure out how to eat and how to not be so grossed out by it, that could be the solution. If I could unlock that, I'm set, I think. I think I can do it all myself after that step. I would happily take help with that step, I just don't really know how. Or I don't know what help to get, I guess. Something I did notice is when I'm drunk, I don't drink often, but when I drink, I actually don't have an issue consuming food. And what does drinking do? It tends to alleviate people's stress and you don't really think that much. You definitely don't overthink if you're drunk. And so when I'm drunk, I can put more food into my body than when I'm sober, which I was a little bit surprised by since some people get sick from drinking. I've never gotten sick from drinking. Like afterwards, I was like, wow, I'm kind of like with the amount of food I ate, I'm a bit surprised I didn't puke because I was so drunk and also eating a lot of food, which are two things that don't normally happen in my day-to-day. So honestly, if there was like a healthy, safe way to get drunk every day, I could probably gain weight no problem. But anyway, I think what that tells me, I think that's another sign that it's mental. And maybe without realizing it, it is stress or anxiety related. I mean, undeniably, I have anxiety around food. I don't really know how to stop it. Exposure. Like, how did I get rid of my social anxiety? Exposure therapy. How do I get rid of food anxiety? Exposing myself to more food, I guess. I gotta figure that out. I think that's really the only thing I have to figure out. Okay, therapy. Can some 45-year-old single lady with a clipboard fix my issues? I don't know. I've been to a handful of therapists. I went to one therapist. It was for unrelated, like, personal stuff. And then after a few appointments, she was like, I don't really know what else to tell you. Like, you seem to have it figured out yourself. I guess she was right. I figured out the stuff. But anyway, she was like, you got anything else to talk about? And I was like, you know anything about eating more? And she was like, yes, I actually specialize in eating disorders. And I was like, okay, this is epic. That was purely coincidental that I picked a therapist that specializes in eating disorders. So what did she do? She diagnosed me with an eating disorder. Okay. Now what? She's like, well, you could eat more. Okay, how do I do that? She first told me to fix my sleep schedule. I'm sorry, is my sleep schedule broken? Actually, it's just unique to me. She was adamant that if I was on a daytime sleep schedule, I would eat more. I don't believe her. I mean, I've been on every sleep schedule imaginable throughout my life, and this has been a constant. I mean, to be clear, I was in school as a child. Like, I was on a daytime schedule for the majority of my life, and this wasn't any different, and I told her that, and she's like, well, you should try it anyway. Right now, I can't really flip my schedule because I work night shifts, and so to make money, like, to pay for my house, I have to be up at night. So she's like, all right, at least schedule out your meals. Any times of the day, 8 a.m., noon, 8 p.m., whatever, I don't know. Pick 3 times to set aside and eat food. I was like, okay, I mean, I guess I can do that. So she was like, even if you just eat a little bit, most of my clients, it helps them if they schedule their meals. So I was like, yeah, sure, whatever. Ultimately, I did actually start scheduling my meals. I mentioned this in a previous video, I think, but I order a lot of DoorDash, right? I was ordering a lot of DoorDash delivery. You can literally schedule food. So whether I like it or not, food shows up. You pick anytime you want, as often as you want. You can schedule anything to come to your door. Incredible service. I love technology. Is it always cold? Yes. Is it always missing one of my items? Yes. That's beside the point. Anyway, I can have the best meal I'm ever wanted in my whole life sitting in front of me, and I still just don't necessarily eat it. I'll just throw it away, honestly. I can't count the number of meals I've cooked and prepared and gotten ordered and went out and purchased, because I told myself 3 times a day I just gotta sit down with this food. Well, that doesn't work. I sit down with the food, I stare at it. I can't get it in my stomach. Maybe I can get it in my mouth, but at best I end up just spitting it back out. And then I just throw it away. That's as far as I went therapy-wise. A therapist can't swallow food for me. The bottleneck in all of this is swallowing food. Oh yeah, so of course, liquid calories. Easier to swallow liquid than solid, I agree. I mean, that's how I'm functional today. It's liquid calories. Like, most of my calories are liquid. That's how I'm able to maintain weight. So a lot of the comments, which like the comments on the videos, I like seeing all the suggestions. A lot of the comments are like, try protein powders, try meal replacement shakes, try smoothies, try milkshakes. That is you just named my diet. Like, yes, I am eating other things. This video is focused on those days where I just can't eat anything, but I do have days where I can eat normal meals. It's just not enough to gain. And then when I can't gain or when I can't eat, yeah, I have liquid calories. I get milkshakes from Chick-fil-A. I get milkshakes from Five Guys. I get smoothies from Smoothie King and Tropical Smoothie Cafe, and I make milkshakes and smoothies at home. And then I make protein shakes. I use the Optimum Nutrition protein shakes, and then I have Fairlife protein. And if I could just get more of that in me, that would work too. A bit graphic, but if I do consume more liquid calories than my body wants, it just kind of comes back up. So yeah, it's like getting it into my stomach and then keeping it in my stomach. Could there be some sort of other medical issue? I think it's very unlikely, but I'm willing to find out and test more. So that's an update on my herp gains journey. I've been exercising every other day right now, which I've been enjoying. It's just been calisthenics. I haven't even touched the barbell. It's just push-ups, pull-ups, weighted, whatever. I have not done any leg-based stuff, and that's because my excuse, I know you all love excuses, is doing leg day makes my legs sore, and then doing Amazon is hard, so I have to rest more because my legs, like, they're in pain, and it's harder to walk, and so my shifts take longer and stuff. So I haven't done like leg-based exercises because it's just hard to do that job. Upper arm, it doesn't really matter as much. So like my arms, chest, back, I've been working that the past couple weeks, past a week realistically. I'll keep doing that. I think I'll do some now. I'm under my beautiful calisthenics tree. The summary is I've been maintaining weight, which is good. I have not been gaining, which isn't bad per se. I'll be fine, but it's not helping me reach my goals by not gaining. And yeah, that's why. Is eating stupid. I hate eating. I do it enough to maintain. I mean, actually, the very good thing is because I've been pushing myself so hard, it now feels natural to maintain weight. I don't have to put in so much effort to maintain weight, and that's really nice. That's actually a really good skill that I've developed. And I think the fact I've developed this skill is why I am officially not giving up yet on gaining more, because if I could, it's all down to that 15, the 100 to 115. I just keep on visualizing that 115 to 130. Because also the nice thing is I'm not looking to gain weight in perpetuity. I don't want to get to 130, and okay, maybe I get to 130 and I want to be 145. I think it's unlikely, but let's say I do. I get to 145. Am I going to want to go to 160 and then 175 and then 200? I'm so good at math. Wait, that's not even right. Whatever. My point is I'm eventually going to want to just maintain weight. I don't want to be a bodybuilder. I don't want to be a power lifter. All I want is I don't know. I just want to be a bit less skinny. Who knows exactly how. So yeah, it's like if I could push to that 15 pounds, I just got to do it again. And then maybe I'll be satisfied. Maybe I'll push to 15 pounds twice. But if I can do another 15, I'll be, it's at the end of the day, it's arbitrary, and I made that up in my head. But that'd be kind of cool. So it is, I would say it's becoming kind of unhealthy. But I'm not doing unhealthy things to get to it. I'm just obsessing over it mentally too much. It's not like I'm doing any like weird drugs or whatever, so I think that's good. Worst case scenario is I just live the life I am now, and I would be ultimately fulfilled if I continue the life I'm living right now. It's more fun to push myself and try to achieve other random goals. So you can check out my Herp Gains playlist, as well as it's a pretty varied channel, so there's all sorts of stuff on there. You can see my recent animals I've run over with my car tier list. I think that video is pretty good. And you can, if you want to talk to me directly or talk to others in the community, you can join the Discord server at discord.gg/goherping, linked in the description. It's a paywalled server, so you pay $2 to get in, but it's worth the $2, trust me. That'll be it. I'm Alex, and thanks for watching. See you at 130 pounds. Probably not. Can we do it? I don't know.